Hey, looky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
It's Pat and JT on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. It's Pat and JT right here in our studios because it's our podcast, and we appreciate you listening. Download, subscribe, rate, review, share, all those things to your friends.
All those good things. Season 3, Stranger Things. I'm just getting into it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. It's been out, just less than a week, like just this week, right?
July 4th it dropped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just
July,
a few days ago.
at least as far as I'm concerned. That's when I discovered it.
Okay. I think it was because Sophie was excited like the night before. She's like, I can't wait tomorrow. And it was this past week. So I think you're right.
Can you believe that it's been 3 years since the first season dropped?
I haven't seen the second.
Second season kind of was for some people, they didn't like it as much. Thought it kind of fizzled because it just kind of rehashed.
Yeah.
Whatever was happening in the first one, instead of one demon or one weird thing, there'd be 5 of them. You know what I mean? It's like they just did it, but just did more of the same thing. And some people were disappointed. Others found it just easy to watch and fun. But it's still been 2 years since that one was out. So
where's time gone, man?
Finally get to season 3, which what I've seen so far, I really like. The kids are getting a little bit older. And it's all the same kids and all the same characters. And it's just kind of fun to see. I like this new one. It's got some new twists to it.
Okay.
At the very beginning there.
Do I need to watch the second one I don't have to watch it to understand the third one.
I don't think you do.
Okay.
You watch the first.
Yeah. I love the first.
I think you'll be okay.
All right.
Just sliding right into third.
Okay. Slide into third.
Third season. Anyway.
Story of my life. Made it to first. Okay. Second. Slid into third a couple times.
God.
Got hurt.
Careful, man. Anyway, it's a little more gruesome. So the kids are getting older too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the themes are a little more
Not so campy and
right.
Yeah.
There's a little more blood and guts, kind of blood and slime, I should say. Really, a little more of that. They called it. Some of them were referring to it as squelching. I don't know why that was. I don't know what that on some of the boards when they were talking about it. The closed captioning apparently would use the word squelching when the slime. I don't want to give anything away. Spoiler alert.
okay. There's slime in here.
There's slime, but it is really good so far.
Okay.
I'm happy. So yeah, season 3 is back.
Sophia's watching a show. I think it's on Netflix. It's a documentary style show on girls in juvenile hall, juvie. Like it's like they go in, cameras follow them around. And
I was watching women. It was women in prison. Similar, but I imagine that's kind of interesting.
it was very interesting. And what interested me is when she said, "These girls don't have it too bad in there." I'm like, whoa. Still juvie, yo. She goes, she listed off these things that they get to do on a daily basis. They earn points to get different colored shirts, to get different levels of what's it?
Opportunities.
Yeah, or levels of
permissions or
level up. I don't know.
Level up.
I don't know what it is. I don't. What am I thinking?
Well, they probably have.
What are things that if you get to do? You're an older person.
Permissions?
No, not permissions, but
as you get.
Like you get more.
They trust you more?
I don't know. It's not a jail thing. It's like like an everything thing. Like if I get more, I'm older. I earn a shirt. Therefore, I have more power. No, it's not power. For the love of God, I smoke too much sulfur from the fireworks. Gosh damn it! I'll think about it.
It'll come. No, it sounds really interesting though. Maybe need to weave in a couple Scared Straight episodes.
Seriously.
Just so she can kind of get a taste.
Well, she knows she doesn't want to go there because she said the food looks awful.
Okay.
She said, but once a week they do get pizza from the outside. I'm like, okay, that's so there's a negative thing, but it was always backed up with the but
they still get this every once in a while. Yeah, and they don't have to do their own laundry.
Right, you're right. So yeah, she's been watching this thing pretty intently.
I'm kind of surprised that they let them film in juvie.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure there were a lot of permissions to be gathered.
Probably.
Before they could do that. But that'd be interesting though.
Yeah.
From a kid's perspective, to see
people their age in jail for doing, it was from drugs to assaults to all these different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with the women, and there were a couple of, I like watching those in doses. The real like documentary type shows the prisons.
It's a lot.
It is. And see how they cope. It's interesting. I'm sure for anybody, I can't even imagine, as far as going into a prison, that's where you're going to be.
Yeah.
You got to make it happen.
Do you remember that show? It was on A&E, I think, a few years ago. Maybe it's still on, where they would find someone that's going to jail for a long time, and they would kind of document their last 24 hours out.
I think it is still out there.
Is it? That was pretty intense. Like, what would you do?
I think it is still out there. It's like their last 24 hours. Yeah. I think it's called The Last 24.
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's what it's called. And I've only watched a little bit of that. I should actually look that up. That might be kind of interesting.
I drive by the state pen a few times a week because there are multiple ways to get to the house in Lincoln, and one of them is right by the pen. And about 7 months ago, I realized just in my head, this thought just popped. Like, man, that place has to just smell like garbage inside. Because if a kid's room stinks like a kid's room stinks, these are all adult men, on the men's one anyway.
Yeah.
All adult men, it's hot, it's sweaty, and then not a lot of hygiene.
I think they have air conditioning.
Do they?
I think so. I think they do.
One in the pros column for prison. Air conditioning, free working out, air conditioning.
We'll throw that one in there.
Massages.
I don't think that's what they call them. I don't think that's a massage, Pat. I really don't.
It's not? All right, con.
No, that's it, right? There you go.
Con column.
In the cons. Put it over there in the cons. That's funny, though. So today is, I'm celebrating 1 year since the first time I saw Jack in person.
1 year?
It's been a year.
See, to me, it seems like Stranger Things 3 years ago seems like it was like that. It seems like you've had Jack for 10 years.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's really weird.
That is true. 1 year ago that I flew to Syracuse, New York, to go get him. And I flew in late on a Saturday night and then turned around and left the next morning with him. And got to meet the people that rescued him. And
Privileges.
Privilege.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm like, I got to get this out before I forget. Privileges.
You get more privileges as you
get more privileges the different colored shirt you get in jail. Go ahead. Sorry. Jack, what? Sorry.
I'm telling this really serious,
I know.
heartfelt story. Privileges.
Gosh. I'm done. I'm sweating. I take my shirt off.
Oh, no. You'll lose your privileges.
Yeah,
Trust
I will.
me.
I don't want to lose my privileges.
No, but yeah, I remember I flew into Syracuse, New York and stayed at the airport hotel. And she brought Jack into me. He was 15 pounds.
Little guy.
Yeah. And I've got a picture of him that's posted accompanying this podcast.
But even though then seeing those pictures, he looked like a big puppy just because he's a big breed dog. You look back now and it's like he was just a tiny
little guy, just a little dude. And his whole history, I just saw, as a matter of fact, the person who was with the rescue, they had taken 23 puppies. I thought it was less than that. I thought it was 12. But I think his litter mates, there were like 8 or 10 that were his litter mates, if you can imagine.
Jeez.
But where they were kept was in their pictures. I think I've posted those before. I have.
Do you know where all the litter mates went? Like, do you have an idea?
No, she knows where all 23 are. Yeah, she's got updates from all 23.
That's kind of cool.
She says it's really cool is that every one of them is living a good life and
that's awesome.
All put in great places. And several of them have posted pictures of their dog that were part of that 23. And one of Jack's litter mates is Annie. And Annie lives with Kelsey, who is the one that took care of Jack and fostered him before I got him. And Annie is huge. Annie is 115 pounds.
How much does Jack weigh?
He's right at 100.
Jeez.
And she's a big dog.
She
big, yeah. Especially for a female too.
Yeah.
Usually the males are much bigger, but then again, we'll see what happens with Jack. He's only one. So anyway, yeah, I thought it was kind of neat. So this would, I guess, be my gotcha day for Jack.
Yeah, that's right.
Is what it'd be. So July 7th would be.
Holy
it.
cow.
Yeah.
It's a year.
1 year old.
All the things that have happened in the last year.
All the things he's destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the money.
Yeah, don't think about that. Never mind.
Yeah, it was, we're going to get you this puppy, Jill, and we're going to help you out. And granted, I went and got him, but they were going to take care of transportation and everything. It's a great way to get thinking of saving all this money.
No.
Nothing's free. Nothing is free. So. But anyway.
That's crazy. It's been a year.
Yeah. So they're still doing great too, as far as their operation. And they work with another organization that's in Venezuela, where it's just awful.
I'm sure it's awful.
It's awful for people. You can only imagine what it's like for animals on the street.
Yeah.
And doing all they can to feed supplies up and vet supplies and
That'd
all
be
that good
hard.
stuff.
Just in general, being an organization like that, trying to do so many amazing things, and to do things to make it feel like you're actually making a difference, because that'd be really hard to actually see the fact you save the 23, they go to great homes, but in the grand scheme of things, it'd be so defeating to be like, what am I doing here?
Because it's like a drop in the bucket.
Right. It's like, what
Venezuela, definitely a drop. It's in one city, in one abominable country that's in abhorrent conditions. It's just one of millions, probably.
Yeah.
It is. I'm sure it is. I'm sure to get out of that defeatism mode, like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. But it does. It does matter, every little bit. I don't know. It is. It's a sad situation, but they're trying to do the best they can, considering that they don't even have food for people.
Yeah.
Trying to, and that's the difficulty too, is for them, is the actions they have to take so that they are kind of hidden from the government too, because they want their money.
Yeah.
The money.
Definitely.
So this trying to get the supplies. They get the money to the right people to get the supplies, to bring the supplies into them. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a covert operation.
You're dealing with the government, with people that they'll off you. They'll kill you. I mean, if you don't give them the money that they think they deserve, you're done.
Exactly.
I mean, that's scary.
Scary situation. And for them to stay there with the dogs, I don't know that they have choices, but if they do, they're choosing to stay. Let's see here. What else do we have?
So we've been dealing with this sprinkler system issue at the house. Okay. So, and we're we're moving houses. We're moving to Omaha from Lincoln. So we're in that transition phase, found a house. And when you get into a new house, I haven't been into a new house in a very long time. Probably 5 years.
I was going to say, it wasn't that long ago. Yeah.
Seems like it.
But lots happens.
But getting into the house is one thing, but then if you have a sprinkler system in the yard, and if the yard is beautiful and the yard is gorgeous, that we need to. Landscaping's great, grass is awesome. You don't want to change anything, and I kill everything, yards included. I kill it. I don't. I just try not to, but I do. So when the people moved out, they unplugged their timing box in the garage for whatever reason, and left detailed notes on how to turn it back on.
Right.
Well, it hadn't been unwinterized. It hadn't been woke up after winter yet.
So they hadn't used it yet.
They
this
hadn't
year.
used it yet. No,
Oh, okay. They haven't used it yet. Okay.
So, but there was notes on how to unwinterize it, turn it on, whatever you call
to
that.
turn it on.
To just start it.
Basically.
Yeah. So I followed the notes to a T that I thought, but I couldn't get it to work. The water was going everywhere, spraying, and it's not that hard of a thing. Like the notes are like 3 things: do this, do this, do this, go.
So what the sprinklers, like, you have different zones.
Different zone. I have like 9 zones.
9. That's about what I have. I think there's 9 zones. So it wasn't going to the zones.
They weren't. It wasn't.
The timer
going,
wasn't working.
No,
or?
the timer was working. Apparently the pressure is an issue. Like you have to have the right amount of pressure in the tube pipes, whatever, in order to make it work and get the water to stop. So I had one of the valves in the green box. I didn't have it turned all the way, so water and stuff was coming out of that a little bit and was preventing it from filling up all the way and having the water stop in the house.
This is where again, I know a guy. And the reason why I do that, for both, like, for pools, for lawns, and I know some people are real handymen and they understand how to do all that stuff. But if I have somebody else shut it down, I have them open it up. Then if anything's wrong,
it's on them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they can't say, well, we'll have to fix this because you did X, Y, and Z. It's like, I don't even know that I did that, because so now I don't.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to do it. I never did in the past. I just did it this time because I didn't know who, what, when, why, where. It's a weird call. And I did try to call sprinkler people, but it's their busy season. So getting in, it was like 3-4 day wait to get in. So one guy, Midwest Sprinkler, I think, is what he got him on the phone. It's his own deal. It's not like a big company. It's his own deal, which is a great name, Midwest Sprinkler, for just one dude. Got on the phone. He's like, listen, man, if I come out, it's going to be like 8:00 on Wednesday at night. It's going to be after hours, double, triple time, whatever. He's like, listen, just try to describe to me what's going on and I'll try to walk you through it. And while he's eating lunch at Jimmy John's, dude's talking to me on how to fix my sprinkler system. And he's like, I guarantee you dollars to donuts, whatever that means, that it's this issue. And he goes, sounds like it's a pressure, blah, blah, blah. Go in, and it was in the green box. I twisted the knob he told me to twist, and sure enough, it started working perfect.
Awesome.
So it was my issue. But that's why I'm just not, I get in my head so much on these things. I overthink everything. Like, the directions were very clear, but the directions said, close all the black knobs in the green box. Done. So, but there were 9 zones, 9 little things, and on each little zone head,
Yes.
whatever it's called, there were 3 black knobs. It's like, okay, so that's a lot of knobs. Am I supposed to close all the knobs? So yeah, I should have just read the instructions, closed all the knobs, and it would have been fine. I left one little knob not closed.
That's all it took.
So
That's all it took. So you're all good now.
all good, yeah. But it's a
Okay.
lot of pressure, man. A lot of pressure.
God, my goodness. That's where you got to get a guy.
Get a guy. I knew.
Get in there early. Like you
have a
might
guy
want to
now.
call like in August to set up your closing date in September or October. So that you get on the list.
I will. That's a great. Yeah, because I don't want to deal with. I've had a burst sprinkler center head. No, burst backflow. I've had a burst backflow before because it froze. I didn't have it winterized yet.
Yeah.
Water was spraying all over my neighbor's house.
Yes.
Bad deal.
Did you video that?
No.
Was it you?
It wasn't me because I was on my way home and I got a call from my son. He's like, Devin, the neighbor, is over here and there's water spraying on his house. It's the last thing you want to hear and you have no idea what's going on. And it was backflow broken and spraying on his side and it was like
I've seen
15
that.
minutes.
I've seen that. Somebody had a video of that. I don't know why I attributed that to you.
Yeah. Well, I wonder why.
Well,
I've only had to replace 2 in my life. I wonder why.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Well, good deal. I'm glad you got that now that you're moving into the old house.
Yeah.
Going to take on some duties here.
Yeah. Very excited.
The
about
handyman.
Yeah,
handyman
taking
about
us-
just like you and your IT department here.
that. Taking on some duties. Yeah.
Awesome.
Do a great job. Find me on Yelp. Review me. Rate me. Subscribe me. All of those things, man.
All those good things.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Get it on Nextdoor.
No, I can't offer any services. No way.
Well, speaking of services,
Yes.
I know somebody who can, and that is Kugler Vision. Kugler Vision, the entire staff, world class, just a phenomenal team, and just on the leading edge of eye care. Get online at kuglervision.com, and that's where you can sign up for your consultation. And when you go in for your consultation, if for no other reason, you're going to be given the information and the options as far as your eye care and your eye health and your vision correction possibilities. And for some people, it could be LASIK the same day, which is really
That'd be
cool.
amazing.
Yeah, depending on how that consultation goes and your time, of course. Doesn't take very long for the procedure either. I can tell you that too. That's
Yeah.
something we've both been through.
In and
that.
out.
Crazy. Yeah. It's just, it's like, wow, I should have done this a really long time ago.
And anytime you get any procedure of any kind, you always build it up in your head to be this humongous
Yeah.
thing, and you're in and you're out, and you're like, that's it. That's it.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That's no big deal.
I wasted a lot of calories on that.
Seriously.
Sweat and but then again, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
If you get online at kuglervision.com, you'll see the consultation tab right there, and you can just sign up for your consultation. And be sure too, if it on that, I think it's right there is where it'll ask you where you heard about them. And we should be. I think we're on the list. But if not, just write it in, Pat and JT Podcast. We'd really appreciate it. And if you get a chance also just to thank them, whether it's on social media or on our page and just tag them, really appreciate that too, because I just want them to know how much we appreciate
For sure.
them supporting our podcast. So
Helping us do what we do.
Exactly. Kuglervision.com.
Thank you guys for downloading and supporting our podcast as well. It's Pat and JT, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Rate, review, subscribe, and share. Thanks for listening.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Parkville Media Production.